Hello everybody and welcome to Stone Void. I'm your host Jay Phillips. Starting off as always, introducing my two co-hosts, Don Bowie.
Hey.
Patrick Collins.
Hello.
How's it going, guys?
I'm doing fine.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. It's another week into testing, getting ready for the upcoming stuff. We got a lot of cool information that's coming up for some events coming up, including some cool product for the
Anime Expo?
Anime Expo. We finally also got the stuff for the starter decks, not starter decks.
The teaching decks.
The teaching decks.
Is that what it's called?
I think they're meant for stores to help new people just learn and play. Like, the stores just hand out these decks for people to play, and then they return them.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and start with those then really quick. Essentially what they're meant to be is, they're loaner decks. People come in, they borrow them, they want to see what the game is like, which is essentially what I have been doing for the community here since day one, is just handing everybody my decks that I've been building. And
because you had like 5 or even 10 decks at the very beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning I was just shoving out decks to everybody to get them into playing, which was a very good way to start doing that. One sad thing about handing these decks out to people is they're not meant for them to play in a tournament with. They're not strong enough to do anything with. However, the rulers being on par probably with the current set rulers.
You think so?
They're both. So these rulers, both Peter Pan and Captain Hook, they do nothing on the front side. They cost 2 generic and 2 of their colors respectively, which is green for Peter Pan and blue for Captain Hook. And as such, they're not relying on any unique stones or anything like that the rulers that we're getting do. On flip, they just get their abilities, which is a strong thing, I think, and equal to the current rulers.
Yeah, but it's only a come into play ability, as where the newer rulers also have at least a static ability.
Do they? I thought they were all triggered off those stupid stones.
Like Faria has, whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on each resonator you control. Machina gets buffed for each machine you control.
So those are all really good abilities that help them
stabilize,
keep going and stabilizing. These abilities can actually win you the game. Peter Pan, once flipping, gives all of your people Punk and Witch plus 200. So you get
but
flying.
Not swiftness.
No swiftness. So it gives them all flying for a turn and gives them plus 200, which could allow you to strike for lethal in the air. As to where Hook has, if it doesn't have flying, return it to their hand, so backs everything up but Guivers. Both of these allow you to have a lethal turn. They're very strong. Just bounce all resonators or everything flying right before you go into combat. I really like these a little bit more than our current rulers in the upcoming set. However, all of the past rulers that we've had are just nuts.
Yeah, like Yugioh, Gil, and all of them.
Yeah, I'm just saying that the power level in general in the current rulers we're getting are a little bit lower than usual.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And we're not really going to go into any cards for this set, mainly because they're all kind of generic, and they all have that yellow border that we had from the Valhalla. I mean, not Valhalla.
The MOA? Millennium Mages and the other Vingolf.
Yeah. So just kind of quickly going outside of that, moving right into the actual Vangolf set, we have a little bit of information on what's coming out of that. So it looks like we are getting the dual stones back, which is kind of
I enjoy
awesome.
That so much.
Yeah.
Force of Will to me is a very strategic, well planned out game that allows you to manipulate the things that you need to with the correct manner that you need to, and then removing those dual stones makes it very hard for the game to stay that nice consistent flow that you've had. Of course, you could say that's why it makes aggressive decks so good, but that's a lie. Aggressive decks are monocolored anyways. It really helps other decks exist, I think. I really enjoy having dual stones in this game. I don't understand why there's a lot of people complaining about them online.
People just say that they want variance and it keeps it fresh, I guess. So it's harder to play certain decks and just makes, I don't know. I don't understand it either.
Yeah. I think it's whoever screams the loudest gets heard the most, and it's just the people who are complaining are really, really loud.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, just playing monocolor in this game feels so dull.
Yeah.
Especially when red is by far the strongest color when it comes to playing mono.
Yeah, no, it seems very weird. Luckily, they're giving us some cards to deal with red, which we'll get to a little bit later. But, I mean, I don't understand the move either.
Yeah, I mean, the main complaint is just I want it different. People want it different. They care about variance and like, but that's not what Force of Will is. It's more about consistency and all that stuff.
The complaint that I actually hear the most is that they think it's going to speed up the game more, and I actually kind of don't agree with that statement. I think some people are scared about, like, I don't know if they played so many Grettles or something, but it's like, we don't have Gretel anymore. Like, that's not going to happen. Maybe they're not used to, say, the hardcore control. I don't know, but
yeah,
I'm very happy about.
I feel like the format's slowing down, and slowing the format down it's required to have the jewel stones.
Yeah.
Kaguya control, it's hurt so bad with no dual stones.
A lot of decks are.
Yeah, I mean,
it's really just red is rampaging right now.
Yeah.
And green is doing well to a certain extent, but the support colors like blue and white, and arguably even black, they're really hurting right now without any other color to kind of beef them up past the first couple of turns.
Yeah, because you're just playing Ruler's Memoria if you're not playing Kaguya.
Yeah.
That's like the only color fixing you have.
Because I think the main weakness with those three colors is that they don't have any like really strong starts, as where red and green can kind of almost, lift themselves up like right away, whereas black and white and blue, there's like literally only maybe one card that's like the best play you can do in that color.
Yeah.
I mean, I would argue that Soul Hunt is the best play in black, and sometimes in a black deck you don't even want that in your deck. Like, Soul Hunt is a very double-edged sword card. Like, that goes in a very specific deck.
Yeah.
Both black and blue want to really start off with a cheap Cheon standby, and since it costs 2, they can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, we had Kaguya for that, which you played that deck.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's blue and black are actually really good when you can pay for them that cheap, but I don't see it, that really being a mechanic that they want to keep with.
Kaguya 1.0 you're talking
Yeah.
about? Just like the one drop chance standbys, that was so good. Like you're hitting curve like every game. It was really nice.
So if they had that still hanging around, I could see blue and black, having a little bit more of a chance. But no, dual stones definitely needed. Anything else you guys want to say about the set? I don't think we've heard anything else that really was coming out
about
of
the
it.
set? No, just the 5 rulers. I guess the other new thing compared to the last Van Golf is that it's probably 10 super rares now. Like, when I say super rares, I mean foiled cards. Because the last Van Golf only gave you a pack of 5. Now they're giving you a pack of 10.
That makes collecting the set a lot easier. Collecting the set last time was very difficult. Also, you looked like a creepy child toucher person because they're all little girls with,
minimal clothing.
Yes, the more super rare it is, the less clothing that they had, which is don't do that again, please, guys. And actually, speaking of that, moving really quick, they actually reversed that with an art that they previously showed us. Zero, the flashing mage warrior, I believe is her name, for 2 light, 1 colorless. She's a 500 attack, 700 defense, and when she's entered the battlefield, she gets a counter because she is a 6 sage. Other 6 sagers give her counters, and remove 1, prevent the next turn 100 damage to target resonator this turn. Really good card. She had a art where she was revealing quite a bit of herself because she was in a swimsuit. And showed from a very sexual angle.
It was a thong.
Was it a thong?
Like full butt.
See, I got in trouble last time because I couldn't remember what the art looked like, and I remember defending it and not knowing what it looked like, and I was definitely in the wrong. It is very, very revealing.
Offensive is maybe the word.
I don't know. I don't think it's super offensive. I would say it's offensive. Some people argue it's not offensive at all. But.
Compared to some of the other stuff that they've done, it wasn't a suggestive pose, and people wear this type of stuff all the time. I've seen this out in public. So it really, to me, that one just kind of felt just like it's something that you could see, as opposed to like when they had like the sexy posed, Halloween poses or whatnot, and other various things that they've sexualized. This one seemed like it was like somebody doing like maybe a creeper shot at worst, but I didn't find the art, even after reviewing it, being that bad. Or any which way.
You think so?
I do really like this art, though. The new edited art.
Yeah, I really
Before we get too far
enjoy that they did this.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the art
skirt.
too, and I know I'm probably been the most adamant about, the censorship and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know exactly how I feel, because it's like they censored it because enough people were outcrying, and, for this to, it's a little too much. But
I feel moving forward, they should try for a more neutral, like, accepting everybody type of thing. Stuff that doesn't make people feel uncomfortable.
I definitely agree with that. But I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that we changed someone's original art into something else. So we essentially forced, and who knows how many of us were whining or complaining about it. Just like how we were talking about the people saying bad stuff about the Stones, like, am I the minority that's kind of making their voice outcry more because of this?
True.
Yeah, but they did it because they want more people in the game. Like, if people don't like the card, they're not going to play the game. I know that happens to some people. I know that people come in the store and look at the card and be like, this is perverted. I don't know. Look at their boobs.
Okay.
Like, stupid.
Yeah. So, this is a promo, and I think it got a lot more attention. With the other cards in the set, I think it's a lot harder for them to change. If you guys, I don't know if you guys paid attention or not, but in one of the Captain Hook sides, there's a braless girl that's hugging his leg, and her breasts are literally just draped across his leg. And I don't know if you guys noticed that, but
I didn't notice that.
It's kind of a lot, and that's in a teaching deck. That's in a deck that you're going to hand out to anyone who's interested in playing. If you want, you can try to go back to it.
No,
I don't think the sexuality in this game's ever going to stop. I think it was because this was a promo and it got more attention before it was actually released.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're ever... Maybe they will slow down their sexuality.
It is not a American... Okay, so in America, there is that culture of everybody needs to be PC, everybody needs to be, progressive, and for some reason progressive means censorship to some people, and that's not correct. But that is the view that a lot of corporate minds take, and so that pressure from American, people, stores, and things like that is probably to get to them. It is really weird here in the States to deal with that type of stuff. And since they are in Japan and they are in more open-minded cultures where things like that aren't necessarily as big shunned, the female body's a lot more, I almost feel like in the States, as much as we tried to be like, no, everybody be safe and accepted and everything, it almost starts to be where we start shunning sexuality completely.
Yeah.
And it's almost like too big of a pushback. Mm-hmm. So it's a really weird line to draw with here in the States. I don't think they will change their art style.
No,
you're correct about that. They're in a place where they're going to be making enough money in all these other countries. They're not going to worry about what the U.S. whines about. I'm pretty sure. I almost want to go look and try to find this artwork in other countries and see if they changed it. It might just be here in the States.
In Italy, they released the full non-censored version.
See? And that's literally, I think it's here in the States where they're finding that problem. And so they might just start doing localized versions of things, localized censorships. If there's enough of a market here. If the U.S. doesn't turn out to be a big enough market for them to care about, they might just say, well,
but they'll have enough people that like that art. I'm just...
Right.
We've talked about this way too many times for me to repeat my opinion on
I
this.
know. We have literally dug into this thing with...
yeah, that one.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking up the art real quick. Yeah, she definitely does not have a top on, and her boob is kind of squished.
I mean, that's kind of mermaid. Mermaid's kind of... It's not in bad taste. It's kind of artsy.
I think it's
tasteful.
tasteful.
To be honest, I do actually kind of like that art, but
yeah,
still.
It's tasteful. I think they tried to do a very...
I would say tasteful.
Well, not obscene.
Yeah, it's not
sexualized.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, she's hugging his leg and she's kneeling on the ground. She's lower than him.
I mean, it's a point of power, yes, but it's not please, like, It's not some of the arts
It's not
that
a
they've
come
done.
hither.
Yes.
You mean okay?
It doesn't take away from the photo.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, because you
cool.
guys didn't notice it. I guess that's kind of
Yeah.
proof enough to like say, it's not that big a part of the art.
Honestly, yeah. If you wouldn't have told me that, I probably wouldn't have noticed for a while. And I noticed.
I mean, what's gonna happen if you have like two kids though come in the store and play that deck, and then obviously they probably wouldn't notice, but what if their mom comes up and it's just like, oh hey,
I mean, mermaid statues usually do not have any clothing around their breasts, anyways, right?
I guess
And
that's
that's
true.
around everywhere. That's like culture.
Well, that's here. That's in
Yeah.
our culture, the Santa Cruz culture.
Well,
So I don't think it's in that bad of a taste.
no.
And
Well,
progressively, in like America, I agree that people should not take sexualization too harsh. Like,
So how do you feel that they censored this card? Because a few people like me were just like,
I agree that people shouldn't care that much about like breasts and sexualization, but in a world where people do care, like they find offense, it's sexual objectification of women and all that stuff. In this American culture, I don't think it's okay because it deters a lot of people from the game.
I wish Nicolette was here to stop
Females
with
and
us
like
today.
everything like that.
Yeah.
They would just, it's not cool in my opinion.
okay. Well, it's not cool to have that art, or it's not cool to censor the art.
It's not cool to have that art.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah.
to like collectors, but not like.
Ultimately, I do agree that it was the correct step to censor it,
Okay.
especially here in the States. But I feel like that was a thing moving forward they should do. I don't really feel like censoring the artwork was necessarily the correct move.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I am against the original art, I don't know if censoring it. I don't know if I agree with the censorship. I actually love this art a lot more.
Yeah, I love
I
this
actually
art
think
too.
this is way better. I love the little dress and stuff she's got on, but like, if someone did that to my art, I'd be very.
That's where I'm coming from it at too. It's like
You're the actual
I hate when
artist
people
of the two
censor
of
my
us.
artwork. Yeah, so I wouldn't want somebody to censor my thing. However, that would be up to the company to tell me that, hey, you should draw it this way first. Not alter it later. It's really weird. It's a weird line, and I think we've stretched this a little bit too far. We'll come back to this topic. Next card that gets printed this way, because it will happen a lot, most likely. Before we get into spoilers talk, was there anything else that we wanted to go over for the week? I remember there was something that you wanted to. Yeah,
The Anime Expo, like.
I do. Yeah, Anime Expo is a thing.
So the Anime Expo, they created a $250 like super badass kind of box thing. It's
You swear
laser
now.
etched. It's like it's laser etched. There's a Presea promo front and back side, and there's really nice Presea playmat. It's like really nice Japanese culture kind of moon stuff. It looks like it's really
How many
nice
people
altar
get
art.
this?
You have to go to Anime Expo and pay $250.
Is
to
there
get-
a limited supply?
There's only 500.
Oh my gosh, only 500 people get it.
Yeah, that's kind of a lot of money.
It's an insane amount of money, considering that Magic the Gathering does a similar product at every Comic-Con, and it's half the price of that, and you get stuff that is worth way more than that, and sure, there's even a bigger quantity of it. It's a really weird thing coming from the collector standpoint of I won't go buy this because it's not going to be worth my financial reasons. The last time that I picked up the Magic set was I made $250 just off of one card in that thing, and I paid $140 for it.
Yep.
It was just the Jace. The whole collection I sold for over $600, and all of them, all the sets are all worth around that much at this point, and they all cost.
But you bought it for
$140.
value.
Yes, and that is the true thing is you could want this, and I don't shame you at all. If you wanted to buy this for yourself, for fun, for having it, do that. I don't think it's $250 worth of that for yourself, but that's a personal choice.
But Prissy is pretty cool. Like, a lot of people's favorite character is Prissy, and the fact that they're giving her this alternate art ruler card is pretty cool.
Yes, but it's also not a ruler that sees play. I mean, yes, do this if you want.
It's one of
if
your
you want
favorite
this stuff.
rulers.
Right. It's one of my favorite rulers.
That's what I just
The
said.
art is
I
really
play
nice.
Prisia.
Okay, Don,
but-
let's hear let's hear this from you. Like, you're the one who's actually the most interested in this.
If I go and I have $250 I'm not going to spend to survive, I will probably buy it. Like, it's really nice. It's prissy. There's only 500 made. It's limited quantity, and I want to support the company because they do such a great job. And I don't know, it's something cool to have.
It's produced by Ultra Pro, though, right?
It is produced by Ultra Pro.
So you're supporting Ultra Pro more than anything else.
True.
Well, they're supporting Force of Will.
Yeah,
they support every TCG game there is.
Okay, they're still supporting Force of Will.
Yeah, I mean, this is a
functioning.
They're a company and they're making money, and that's just what they're meant to do. I don't think too much of this is going back to Force of Will. They're getting a small licensing bit of money from it.
Any publicity is good.
True.
For this
is true. I agree with that, and especially since Force of Will kind of has like a weird like cultural lull right now. We don't have much going on online for content outside of like the main channels that have been producing for a while. Community boards are kind of drying up. I can't find a lot of information via like just Reddit and stuff right now. I mean, Reddit's always been dry for Force of Will. It's just
Force of Will.
Look at my deck.
The main group that like I see everything on is the Facebook group Force of Will TCG US, and it's just great. All the judges, the US judges are on there. Jordan's on there.
Yeah.
And
that's where you got to go if you want content. Outside of that, there's not a lot of public grouping around stuff, and it seems to be drying up even more right now. And I think that's just because we're in the middle of stuff and rotations and weird things are happening.
We haven't hit any tournaments in a while, and also, well, I guess like the last 2 weeks, we haven't hit up any tournaments, and then also, as you said, the rotation's going to be happening soon.
Yeah. And the starters, please get some starters out. So, like, reprint the old ones or something, because
they'll come in September.
New players are really...
around the same time Vingolf comes.
Yeah.
We had a new player today, and we have this happen a lot with us, but we have new players that come in and they're like, what can I buy? What can I do? And like we just show them a ruler and try to build them a deck on the spot here in the store. And that's really hard to do for new players. They don't really want to like spend money on like a linear like plan, and maybe that's not what they actually want to play. They don't know what they want to play. They don't want to do anything. A $16 or $20 starter deck is really what we need for those players, and it just sucks that we've been unable to get them that product for so long.
Yeah.
And sure, there's stuff coming out. There's the Vengolf box, which is the best thing to start with, like it was back when.
You think the Vengolf's best start?
No, but the last time it was, because you had your Thunders, you had your Stones. Maybe they're going to do this again. Like, it's a good starting point. Like, you need something to grab onto, something that's a deck building toolkit, and that's what that provides. But not having it year round really hurts for us selling it here in the store. Mm-hmm. I lose a lot of momentum as a store vendor, and I really wish that there was just something more that I could give people. And these training decks aren't something to give people as much as it is to be like, this is really cool, now buy like my product. I don't have that product to sell them. What use is a training deck going to do? Me just ranting more store stuff. Sorry. I do this a lot as well.
Yeah. It's an inside perspective on like how to get people into the game. Like that's what we need is more community and more people.
I've just given people
pursuing.
like free Vlads, and then they never show up again. So just yay, great.
Yeah. That too.
I throw out free cards to like all the new players that come in here.
I have no Vlads
so many of them
anymore.
disappear.
Yeah.
I have. That's why I let them borrow decks, so that way I don't have to watch my stuff go away.
I mean, it's cheap cards.
That's true.
We have play sets of everything already, so why not just give your extras away?
But I let so many people borrow decks constantly.
True.
And also on days that aren't tournament days, like I just have people come in and ask for like want to learn.
I mean, this is for people that like already have decks and
right.
that are wanting to make their decks better.
I'm just saying it's not easy to get new players into this game because of the lack of product to give to them. Mm-hmm. And my distributor only has the newest set or MOA. I can still buy cases and cases of MOA. But outside of that, I'm really limited to the amount of sets that I can buy. I can't buy anything from the Grim set because it's all sold out. Can't buy any starters, all sold out. Vengolf boxes, all that stuff. Makes it really hard.
Yeah.
Especially since I can buy all of the stuff for all the other games that I want. It's even games that are doing way worse than Forcible, like not to say
Vanguard.
Forcible is doing bad, but something like Vanguard, which is actually doing bad. Forcible is the fourth largest TCG out there right now, which is awesome for us. I love that. But something like all the way at number 8 slot, which is Vanguard, I can buy that product left and right. And I don't know that's because it's not selling at the distributor and it's just sitting there and they have tons of stock. That's not true because I can actually sell that as well. But they always have product to buy.
That's because they're from a big company called Bushy Road, right?
Right, Bushy Road.
So they have like tons of funding, even though they're kind of doing bad.
No, that's true.
So it's Force of Will is only one company, and they're starting up, and they're doing. I guess they're doing the best they can.
Yeah.
They have
Also,
a small team.
I just wish that my distributor would carry it better. And I don't know whose fault it is, honestly, a lot of times. Because my promos are all screwed up. I can't get promos here in the store. I can't get... we have promos to give our people, but it's not the current tournament promo. And that's all... It's either my distributor that's messing up, or it's Force of Will that's messing up. And considering I keep seeing other people have these promos, I got to start thinking that maybe my distributor, I don't know. But then again, it's the same one that everybody else in town is using, so...
I don't know. Yeah.
Cool. Try and not drag on the podcast too late tonight, guys. Let's get into some good old-fashioned spoilers. Because, that's what we do best here at Stone Avoid, is we just talk about what everybody has already talked about a week ago. Or then some.
Yeah.
Either which way, I think we do bring a little bit of unique perspective to most of our spoilers, so let's just get on into them. Next up, or first off, is the Fairy Flower Extract, which is 1 blue, and added resonator becomes a 200-300 resonator. So it is an addition resonator, of course, because that's how this card is working. It's a funny way to make their Gwyber really small.
Yep.
It still has all the symbol skills, right?
So has all the abilities.
And activated abilities and everything on the card.
So
Which makes it 2/3.
This is something that's not intuitive with the game that kind of bothers me is in Magic, additions or enchants and stuff like that are generally state when you can target something that's not yours, generally expected to target your own things. This really is one of those things where most addition resonators in this game target your own stuff. This is one of the first time that's like, you probably don't want to target your own thing, so what do you do with this? Put it on your opponent's.
There's been cards that you addition resonators for your opponent's stuff, right?
Yeah, there's been a few things that target your opponent's stuff. I just feel like the wording on this is a little odd for a new player.
Are you banting around the wording of this game?
I am. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next card because I'm complaining about a really useless card. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
But, there's little aesthetic things with the card game that I just wish that they would, get a little better with.
There's a lot of cards with very awkward wording in this game.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one's not even nearly close to bad as some of the other ones.
Yeah, but moving on, I guess. For one wind, we have Escort of the Fairy King, and it has flying and quick cast. It is a 0 attack, 600 defense. When this card enters your field, target fairy resonator cannot be targeted by spells or abilities your opponent controls until end of turn. It is a fairy, of course. Any thoughts?
This card's really good.
Mm-hmm.
This cards are great. This card's good. This card is great.
Yeah. Quick cast, 1 mana, or 1 will.
Save Vivian.
And save your...
Save the other big fairies that are out there. Mm-hmm. Save Oberon.
All the new stuff that's coming out.
And if you have Vivian, it puffs everything by 200.
Mm-hmm.
And
so this comes in, buffs everything because of Vivian, and also protects said Vivian.
It's big enough to not die to a current board wipe type thing.
Oh, Flame King Shout?
Yeah. And so it allows to at least block something relevant after casting. This is a good spell chant. Just so happens to be a resonator. Is I think the way you evaluate this card.
it has flying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
good.
It's pretty amazing. I think you play it and it's good. I don't know what they're gonna switch out in the fairy decks for it, but there's a lot of cool fairies, so I think that whole deck is gonna get a rehaul. Next up, we have Fairy Shadow. So 2 darkness, a 500/500 fairy / shadow. So we can go in 2 different archetypes. Why not? When this card enters the field, destroy target resonator with total cost 1. I think this fairy is a little bit of a miss.
Yeah, it's on the weaker side. I think this is in the shadow deck, not in the fairy deck. Because the shadows love to kill things, as you saw with the Alice killed a 2-drop, and then there's a 4-drop that kills a 3-drops and lower.
Yeah.
This is such a dead draw, like, most of the time, though. It's a terrible
What?
card.
It's amazing card
Killing a
on the
1-drop?
play, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it kills, a Gwen, a Rook Egg, a
yeah,
Elf.
I really want to kill
What
the
if they
Rook
don't have any, and you just draw it? It's not going to kill a Lancelot, which is the main threat.
Right. And it's only good on the play. On the draw, you're gonna be behind all the time. Like, killing their 1-drop's relevant if you're a turn ahead of them.
Okay.
It's really irrelevant if they're a turn ahead of you. You're killing something from 2 turns ago.
Yeah. If it was 1-drop that killed a 1-drop, I'd be fine.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it's not that good.
No.
Well,
You can play the
with
Executioner.
with the shadow synergy, I think it's pretty good.
You can play the Executioner and kills a cost 3 or less
Yeah, just do that.
for a chance standby.
But you need a darkness magic stone.
Oh no.
True, but I don't know. It could be a
And a
better card.
resonator need to enter on their field on that turn.
It's pretty dang relevant.
There's
have
quite a
you got
few
hit by that
things.
thing? It sucks. I have to try and play around that card all the time. I hate that thing.
Yeah, it's a great card.
And that's a 3/3, not a 5/5.
Next up, we have the blue Gwyber. For 1 blue, and that's it. No, 1 blue, 6 colorless.
Titania.
Titania, Powerful Queen?
Prideful.
Queen. I really hate this writing. I know I complain about this every time, but it sucks. It is a 12 apostle / fairy, and I keep telling everybody that it's the last 12 apostle. How many 12 apostles do we have
This
now?
is the last 12
It is?
apostles.
It is? So
the
now I'm
12.
not lying anymore? Because I
Yeah,
said that
you
like,
counted
3
Priscia
times.
twice. Because she's
flip sides.
No, she's in 2 different cards.
I mean, that's not
Sorry,
even...
not Priscia.
It's
Valentina.
Valentina.
That's what I
Okay.
meant.
Because she
Valentina.
possesses her
Gotcha.
and becomes...
Because I was like,
She's been in 12
I
apostles
got
once.
mad. Like I was like, if this is considered the 12 apostle, I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah.
So I was wrong. It is a 1200 attack, 1200 defense. It has flying. And why did I call it the blue Gwyber? Because as you play this card, you may rest any number of resonators you control. You pay 2 less for to play this card for each resonator rested this way. And other water resonators and other fairies you control gain plus 200, plus 200. I think she's a little bit better than Gwyber, honestly.
This card's amazing.
Yeah. On the same turn that you powered out an Adam Brawley, instead of needing an extra will, I mean, like, that whole loop thing, like, she can play the same speed as the, like, Gwyber. Like, you had to have 3 things out with that, like,
She's
combo.
kind of better.
It's
You can
way better
turn two
because she
this
then
guy.
gives plus
It's
200, plus
easier,
200.
right?
You can. There's so many support to this card that Gwyber doesn't have. And in the older format, she's even better because she's not a dragon. Dargon.
Dargon. No, this card buffs all your other cards, or most of them anyways. And the fact you don't even need to play this in a fairy deck is amazing too.
Right. No,
you don't
it's-
even have to tap down fairies. It's any resonator, which I think is amazing. I feel
Yeah.
like it almost should have been fairies only to make
Right.
it kind of its,
But this
like,
is how they're
archetype.
making blue come back really strong. And this is actually a small problem. Really quick side note for people who aren't familiar with why blue is the most powerful color in Magic. It's because back in the day, blue sucked. And blue still sucks in Standard all the time. People don't realize that over the years, blue kept getting other people's abilities to help make them stronger in that format. You know, destroy target red thing or red creature, or do whatever, you know, all throughout the ages that slowly happened. And blue never got good in Standard, but in the Legacy format, in the older format, blue is the best thing you can do now. Why? Because blue does everything. And I feel like that's kind of a thing that, and as we go further into these spoilers, that's something that we're going to see blue starts doing in this game as well. And I almost feel like if they give blue counters at any point in this game, we will have the blue Legacy Magic that we, you know, in this game.
It does have a counter in Valhalla.
It does in Valhalla, but considering most people will be playing from Bifrost forward, I don't think that truly counts.
Okay.
But it is something that that's how blue got good in Magic, is it slowly started taking over every ability that every other color had.
Yeah.
Until it did everything. And countered. So I feel like they're trying to overcompensate with blue a little bit, as we'll see here in the future, and that might lead blue to becoming a powerhouse in older formats.
Okay.
So blue Gwyber, good. Play it. Actually, the next card right up is down the drain for 1 blue, destroy target fire resonator. Not that great of a card, but it is a spell chant instant, and it is great sideboard hate for all those Lancelot haters out there.
I love the Pokemon theme in this card. The Cloyster eating that Slowpoke right there in the middle of the card. Like, that's so great. It's Slowpoke's evolving, dude.
That's pretty badass.
It's so awesome.
It's a I like this.
I've never seen an evolution in art form before. It's always just a quick glam, but this is like, oh my god.
Do you think this is gonna replace like?
It's sideboard. It's totally sideboard. It's super sideboard.
Rogue of the Fire Rat. You play 2 of those just to deal with red decks in
It
every
could-
deck.
I think it could be in a made board control deck that's very good at filtering, like a reflect deck, maybe. It would be sided out against, the appropriate deck.
Yeah.
I could see it main board, but
I mean, that
it's definitely-
exact card has seen play in Magic.
it's definitely sideboard material, though, for sure. It's a great card.
2 inside, 2 in main. Something like that.
It's hilarious to
That's what
see
they do.
some of these cards get printed in this game that we've seen in other games, just because they're like, oh, red's the most powerful thing. Let's give that blue the buff to beat it.
Yeah.
And once again, that's how blue became the best.
Well, that's because Magic is so big that they've done like almost.
Everything.
They're the
the
Simpsons.
Simpsons of card
Yeah.
games.
They've done a lot of stuff. So you can't not copy it, right?
Does that mean Force of Will's Family Guy?
They might be the Bob's Burgers or something.
Oh, please be Bob's Burgers.
Because they're the smaller company, right? Bob's
Yeah.
Burgers is the smaller thing.
Okay. Bob's Burgers is probably
Family
the
Guy
best
is
of all of
probably
them,
like
anyways.
Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon or something.
I think
like that.
Yu-Gi-Oh is like the Cleveland show.
No,
But no,
that's the new-
Cleveland show is gone.
That's
though.
like the
I know, I'm
Pokemon
just
XY kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know. Well, Pokemon's amazing. Quite. Either way, this is Force of Will podcast, and you're here to watch Force of Will stuff. Tune into my Pokemon
And watch Bob's
podcast.
Burgers.
Just
It's
kidding,
pretty good
yeah.
too.
Queen's Envy is the next card that
Envoy.
we have up. Envoy.
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 Don't know
Envoy.
exactly how you pronounce that.
Words. Upside down A's and a Y that looks like the V. For 1 blue, it is a fairy. It has flying, and this card This card can block while rested. I can read. Hooked on phonics. No, this is kind of interesting. It's a 200 attack, 300 defense, so it dies to everything. But if you're buffing it with other fairies or the giant Gwyber fairy, I don't think you play it. But if you are, that's kind of cool that it can just keep blocking over
Yeah,
and
it
over.
can block multiple times a turn.
You know what you could do? Kaguya's Premonition.
Oh, under that.
Ooh!
Just make it super fast.
But they're going to stop attacking.
Doesn't matter, they're stopping attacking.
I guess if you have, and this is a terrible idea, but if you have Arthur and he's rested and they're attacking into your Arthur and you keep blocking with this fairy with Kaguya's Premonition on it, you have the biggest resonator ever, and
Wait,
then they
is that
destroy
legal
target
to
resonator.
do? Or doesn't Arthur have to be the blocker when he's tapped?
You're allowed to block, right? Are you
I
allowed to
don't-
block?
They have to attack into Arthur.
Yeah,
right? And then you
they have to
block the
choose it
other
as
creatures.
attacks. They're
Okay,
attacking.
you're allowed to block with
You're allowed to
something
block.
else. Okay. I didn't know.
So you just make this the biggest thing ever, or you're smart and you just play the Kaguya's Premonition on Arthur, and then you just win the game.
I mean,
well, you can have 2 threats on the board if you come in Kaguya's Premonition. This
True.
I'd
And
rather have 2 big guys.
Kaguya's Premonition only gets the counters off of 1 attack, though.
Yeah.
But it is prevented through the whole turn.
Yes.
So,
So that's just like fog, just stopping them from attack. Because
It's
that's
just
2
a weird
cards,
card.
though.
that's a weird combo.
I
It's
think
cute.
it is.
I
not
think
cons-
it's a better card than what Jay thinks.
I don't think it'll see play.
But it combos with Titania.
Yes.
Because you tap that one down for Titania, and then you can also still block with it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
Huh.
it's like
That's
a
what they made it
backup
for.
card. Like if everything goes wrong, if your Titania dies, and you're like, oh dang, I can't block with anything. Oh wait, I can block with blah 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 blah.
Okay.
It's like a backup plan almost.
Yeah, yeah.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't say it's the best fairy card, but I wouldn't count it out as the worst one.
No.
It's
So
a dead
moving-
draw most of the time. I'm not gonna play it.
No, I'm not going to play it
Yeah.
either. But moving on to our next spoilers, we're going to start talking about Yu-Gi-Oh cards. or at least Yu-Gi-Oh art. I feel like some of the art in the set starts to look very Yu-Gi-Oh-ish. And
It is anime.
Is it?
yeah, it is.
It's not really.
The oversized screwdriver he has kind of looks very like tuned. Like some of the artwork looks very Yu-Gi-Oh-ish in this thing, and that might just be me.
The fact that these guys are like all supermodels kind of makes me angry.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they're buff because they work out a lot.
They're buff, but
'Cause
like
they're working all the
more
time.
mechanics have more like a stockier build, where these guys look like they go to the gym all day and maybe eat 20 calories a day too.
Dude,
so-
but Trader Strangulaw is, like, pretty fat, even though...
yeah,
And he's, like, a fat guy.
this is a mechanic.
There's representation.
This is a mechanic, and
not-
all the
yeah.
mechanics are just like V-shaped males. There's no female mechanics other than the
Maria Bella.
Belburia.
So for 1 water, 2 colorless, you can play Yu-Gi-Oh now. No, 600 attack, 600 defense. It is Tactician of
Legatus?
Why do the U's look like W's?
It's terrible.
When this card enters your field, reveal the top 2 cards of your main deck. Put up to 2 cards with no attributes among them into your hand. Put the rest into your graveyard. This card's pretty sweet.
I enjoy this a lot.
Why do you guys like it? I don't really like it.
Because it draws you cards.
draws you cards.
It could draw you, too.
It's a 600 draw cards.
It could. I like the word could in that sentence.
I enjoy that it also puts them in your graveyard. That could become very
Colored
relevant.
cards?
Yeah.
It's not going to put artifact or colorless cards
Right.
in your graveyard.
So you can play this in a deck that wants to mill itself, or you can play this in a
Black
deck.
does it way better and way more efficient.
Maybe in, like,
Maybe
Cheon.
in blue stuff is going to happen. Like, this is just one of those cards where I don't know what use it has now, but it looks like it could do something eventually. It looks rough.
Definitely disagree.
Dude,
with
there's
that.
so many, like, colorless cards that are doing so much stuff. Like the draw 2 and the costing
Yeah,
less and-
but how many blue cards are you going to put in that deck, though? That's where it really...
Yeah,
is it only... Is it those 4? And if
Maybe.
it's just those 4, I would say there's better cards than those.
So I
just-
might be thinking more along the lines of, like, this might be a card that replaces something in the cube. I'm not necessarily saying it's constructed.
Okay.
I'm just saying that I'm glad that this card kind of
Clarify
exists
that next
for...
time, please.
I would play it if a third of my deck was blue.
A third of your deck was blue. And then
And
the rest of it's colorless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's weird. There's a few cards in here that do combo really well with colorless stuff, like our next one, which is Machine Sympathizer, which is for 1 blue. It is a 300, and this card gains +200 for every resonator with no attribute you control, and this card is amazing.
This card can get out of hand pretty
I
good.
don't
Yes.
think this card's that good.
This card is on curve for a 1-drop and becomes strictly better as the game progresses. Your late game state, you can drop this for 1 will, and it could easily have +600 just because you're playing the game.
Okay.
Would you not play this in Green Ramp Machina? No?
This
It's not
is
big
blue,
enough?
first of all.
Yeah.
So you
No.
don't play it in Green Ramp Machina.
I think this card is going to do... Okay, so there's a card that I enjoyed really well with Valentina 1.0 that is +100 for every Waterstone that you have out.
Yeah.
And sometimes it felt like it was too small because it wasn't a big enough bump. I think +200 is a better...
If
better
that
bump.
card was 200, it would be broken. The
Right.
Waterstone one.
And sure, it starts with a bonus 200 already because it's a 5/5, I think. Is it?
No, it's a
No,
3/3.
It's a
for
3/3.
two.
So this is just, I think this is a better version of that card, or at least a version that card can play with, for really cheap stuff to throw out really fast with Valentina.
This
card,
is very specific. This is a resonator with no attribute. So this isn't even additions with no attribute. It's a resonator with no attribute.
Yeah.
And once someone catches on to that, game plan, they're gonna very easily know how to knock you down.
right, but it's a one-costed card, so it just kind of hangs out and doesn't like.
But it's
require
going to be a
much from
dead
you.
draw if you don't have any no attribute guys, right?
No, then it's just a 300 chumper.
Yeah. But do you think it's good enough to see tournament play?
I mean,
I'm
think-
just saying, if you guys are arguing that, I think the fairy's way better than this guy. The 2/3 fairy that can block tapped.
it doesn't get big though.
It's a chumper.
True.
And it can attack and then block in the same turn.
Yeah.
The fairy, it's got flying, it's got evasion.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that
Both these cards
enjoy
are mediocre.
this card. Yeah. Both of them are mediocre.
I think the fairy's a level above that guy.
But I don't know, I've played blue beatdown decks that did decent. And I feel like this is on the level of that one that I enjoy already, which is the one that gets 100 forever water.
Yeah, but then you're playing machines, you're not playing blue beatdown. You're playing a completely different deck.
Yeah, true. But within that realm. Moving on. Because I don't know where we're going with that one.
I like
Engineer of Leganis. I'm really bad at this.
I like Lingua. That's pretty cool.
4/1 water, 1 colorless, 400 attack, 400 defense. It is a human. You may pay 1 less for to play spells with no attributes. Minimum cost of 1. Doesn't make stuff completely free, which is kind of a sad day. But cost reduction is always good.
It's okay. I don't think it's that great. But
I don't think it's that great. The no attribute guys are pretty cheap already.
Yeah, the guys who have the cost reduction built into their deck, you'd rather play a one-cost machine over this.
Very true.
Yeah. It's kind of like... That card would be good if they didn't introduce the affinity mechanic.
Yes.
I think that card would be great if they didn't. But since the affinity mechanic, and those cards are going to just do just fine without that card.
Yeah, I think it's something you would probably play in limited.
Mm-hmm.
Outside that, not, yeah. But the blue spells are getting a little bit better in general. I think that this is all a good step in the right place.
No, I like these cards. I think they're cool, but I'm staying behind my green Mechana 1.0. I don't think
the green machine.
I don't think blue Mechana 2.0 has any sort of even a candle wick of a chance against.
But what about
there's a few things.
Maria Bella, the shift card? She's pretty good.
Yeah,
Getting them paying 2 less and then getting a Maribel into play.
Yeah, she goes in Mechana 1.0.
Yeah,
she's
blue.
colorless.
She's not blue.
She's colorless.
She's colorless.
Yeah.
So.
Do not argue with me. I know my stuff.
Fight! No. Disassembly line for 1 blue, 2 colorless. As an additional cost to play this card, Banishing Machine. Reveal the top card of your main deck until you reveal a machine. Put that card into the field, and then shuffle the rest of your main deck. So this is a machine polymorph.
It's Tinker. Well,
no, it's not Tinker.
Yeah,
it's polymorph.
That's right.
Tinker would be amazing in this game, and it would make you play blue. However, it is not Tinker. It is polymorph, so it is a gamble and probably not a good one.
It's okay. I think there's some fun shenanigans you could probably do.
Only if you're playing Cheon.
Yeah, you could easily make this to where you could set up for a draw, but that means it's the next card off of your
I
library.
would argue you could do something. You don't have to play Cheon to do it. You could play that, laying the foundation instant. That card's really good.
But that's a lot of resources.
Yeah,
to,
you're committing.
Set that up.
No?
Your
Turn
draw-
1, play whatever 1 drop the heck you want. Turn 2, I'm pretty sure laying the foundation's 2 drop. Mm-hmm. Turn 3, you play that card, and you get your golem on turn 3.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, but then you have to have stuff in hand, or it be the top 3 cards of your deck.
And you're not wasting that many resources because you're drawing cards off laying the foundation, right?
Yes, no, it's a good combo, but
you
it's
draw
chancy.
3 off for laying the foundation. Then you get to put any 2 cards from the top from your hand on top of the deck.
That's a lot of chances, though. Like, a lot of maybe.
Okay, I don't think it's that.
I think it's not bad.
Especially with Reflector Frame.
Yeah.
That's where I think it becomes even better.
Well, there you go.
Just play more R&R, guys.
That sounds like a cool combo.
Yeah.
I dig that. Golem
I
indestructible.
think I'm rocking you guys tonight.
I think
like
you
I'm on
are.
fire, dude.
That's why I'm sitting here trying to drink energy drinks to get back up here. I'm just, unsponsored drink here.
Feeling strong now.
I really hate these. That's a U?
Bulwark Architect.
So, it looks like it's either a V or a W, not a U.
Yeah, that does look like a V. Or a W. You're right on both of those. It looks like
It's not a U.
It looks like both of those.
For 1 blue, you can play a 100 attack, 800 defense, which is really cool stats for a 1-drop. Target resonator with no attributes gains +0, +400 until end of turn. Interesting.
Yeah, the fact that he has an 800 defense body is almost kind of... I mean, I know not too many defensive bodies have been seeing play, but the Black Witch is seeing some play in some Gil Lapis decks, 0-800.
I mean, it's relevant for the first, 3 turns of the game.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
If you're playing Heartstirring Sage, just to get the defense equal to the attack, that might
That's
be
more
kind of cool.
relevant
It's
with
really
this next
cheesy.
card, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, because, if you don't have a way to bump this guy's attack, you're sad. For Artificial Moon, it is 2 colorless for 0 attack, 1500 defense. Oh, it just makes its attack. I thought it swapped them, and I was like, that'd be sad. So this is the biggest butt for 2 mana that the game has, and that could be completely amazing with that card.
Yeah, Heartstirring Sage.
He's a 1-drop, right?
Yep.
So you 1-drop Heartstirring Sage, 2-drop this thing, and then 3rd turn swing for 15/15?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you have 3
Heavily
mana
endorsed.
open.
Yeah, that's really good.
I mean, people are saying this card is broken.
It's-
And I don't...
The
I-
moon? I don't
Yeah.
think it's broken. I think it's good.
Turn 3, 15/15 coming
Turn
at
3,
your face.
15/15 with that 600 deals whatever damage. That would be so
Just play Artemis Bows and just attack face every turn. Win by turn 3.
That's hilarious. I would love it if that card became the meta. That would be so hilarious. If a wall became the meta, you know you're doing something right with your game. That is so cool. Oh my god. I mean, I know, Magic had all that, wall synergy in that one set, but if you're just making, one wall, being I am a Death Star, and I'm just going to slowly pound your face in.
Is this card broken? Do you
Death
guys
Star
think?
Assault?
No, it's not broken.
No.
It needs other cards in order to be good.
Yeah,
But it's a 0/15. That's gonna block
that's fine.
a substantial amount.
There's going to be a card eventually that destroys target colorless card.
So-
I don't know.
There's a ton of cards, and sorry I keep dropping comparisons to other games, but in Magic there are 2-drops, 3-drops, and other drops that allow no damage to be dealt to them, and therefore are infinite blockers. This card doesn't do that. This card can die if...
But
Blocks
there's
the big
not
amount.
that many.
premonition.
There's
The
not.
answer to everything.
There's not that many destroy target resonators. There's one, the black hole thing, right?
Are you afraid of this 0/15?
No.
So why do you need to destroy it? Just let it block one of your guys each turn.
I think it's a great card. I think
it's
cool.
an amazing
It's
card.
cool that you get to draw a card off of playing it in a Kaguya deck.
Do you guys
That's
think
so-
it's gonna top 8?
Yeah, no, that's amazing. It's just his moon and draws the
Do you
card.
guys think it's gonna top 8?
I will try.
I hope so.
I
guess-
think so.
I
too.
can put-
I guess I
yeah.
would be willing to smoothie bet yes, just for the hopes.
You're
I would
just-
be,
all
I'd be
smoothie
willing
bet
to
yes.
drink for that moon.
Oh, so all of us say yes. If it doesn't, we drink?
Yeah, we all
Okay.
drink.
Okay.
Just one copy, right?
Ah.
At least one copy.
At least one copy.
Yeah,
at least
sure.
one.
Anywhere.
How about even sideboard? Yeah,
Anywhere.
Yeah.
because to see that in sideboard would be amazing.
Staple it to the shirt. I brought it. Demi Doll is our next card. It is for 1 will, 0 attack, 600 defense. It is a machine with stealth. Its stealth conditions are... what are its conditions? Becomes target when a machine you control becomes the target of a spell or ability your opponent controls. You may play this without paying its stealth cost. When this card enters your field from the chance to end by area, cancel target spell or ability, target a machine you control. If you do, draw a card. So it is a Spellskite. The one time you Spellskite.
Yeah, it's weaker than Spellskite.
It's
Debatable. It draws you a card. It's kind of cool, but it costs 2.
it does cost 2 down, which is the
I don't
cost of
want that.
Spellskite
Yeah.
in Magic. Sorry, still talking about Magic.
I don't
guys.
know. I think this is a sideboard at best, and I really doubt it'll even be there.
Yeah, when Secluded Refuge is the even better version of this.
I think you're gonna see this maybe in like a legacy format game where someone can abuse the golem getting out, and then someone's gonna try to exile the golem because you can't destroy it. So then you use this card to prevent your golem.
Right,
getting
but-
exiled.
When Secluded Refuge is
When
so
Secluded
much better.
Yeah, if you're
It's-
playing green when secluded. It draws you a card as soon as you play it, so you're not down on the turn that you played it. This you could put down and then your opponent just like does something else and says, ha ha ha, you did nothing.
Like landmine. That was kind of good.
Come on, that's totally the most
I got
broken
hit
card
by
in the game.
landmine today, surprisingly. I didn't know. I didn't see it coming at all. It's like, I've completely forgot about the card.
Secret attack. Everybody's forgotten.
My Baihu, my poor little lion.
Little target
my
attack
rare
thing.
white lion got destroyed. Ugh.
Wow.
It's kind of sad.
That's funny. That's awesome. Machine Lab of
Legatus.
2 colorless.
Legume.
When this card enters your field, put a target machine with a total cost 2 or less from your graveyard into your field. It is a addition field / or machine. I think this card is good. I don't know what it's good for
card's
yet.
amazing.
I think
It
it's the Maribel.
The Death Star.
I think this card's amazing for the fact that it's a machine because that helps with the reduced cost of
Right.
the good cards.
So,
The
yeah.
fact that this brings another machine in,
It brings your moon back and it brings Maribel back.
it brings a lot of good stuff back and it reduces the cost by essentially 2 if you bring back another machine, which you're going to do with this card. I don't think this card is a hard 4 of, but I think
It's
it's at
a
least
number.
like a 2.
You're talking
maybe
about
one.
Mariabella, right? The one that if it dies, you get to search for a Maribel.
That's one that you can.
That's
bring back,
one.
yeah.
You could do Robox is a decent choice.
Oh, Wally!
also.
I love Wally.
Yeah, Robox is fine. You're mentioning the moon.
Yeah.
Even hitting a 1-drop is acceptable with
I
that card.
completely forgot about Wally being in
Is
the
that
set.
an instant? It was
No,
just-
No, it's an addition
it's
field.
addition field.
Okay.
But the fact that it stays there and is a machine is very, very, very relevant.
Because it reduces costs
Yes.
Yep.
to everything. Yeah.
That's
And it's much,
awesome.
much harder to get rid of addition fields than it is for.
Yeah,
than it
why
is
would
to
you
reduce
even
resonators.
waste resources just to kill that thing?
You wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're always gonna have a permanent cost reduction. That card is so much better than that blue card that reduces your quote unquote machines by 1.
That's very true. And for that is all of the spoilers. That was a lot of content to go over for the week.
Yeah.
So really quick before we go for the night, I know that just the LA tournament's coming up in 3 weeks from now?
Yeah, I think so.
About 3 weeks.
You guys are still testing out different stuff. You're still stuck on Hong Long for a
Oh, I
bit
love
there?
Hong Long. I think I will try some. I really want to try out Mono Green Beasts, which would be the aggro version. It's not Sacred Beast. It's using that wolf with the Awakening, and I think Ratatasker might even be in that build too.
Huh.
I don't think there's really any bombs in it. There might be a Behemoth that I want to try that out. And there's a new cool deck that I think Force of Will US posted that's called the Unplayable Cheon, I believe.
Okay.
It looks like a lot of fun because it's just got a random assortment of cards, but it synergizes it surprisingly very well.
What's in it? What's the notable?
I think it's got kind of almost everything your Kaguya deck has.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, it can filter better because of its regalia.
Yeah.
So, and then the fact that Xion can flip over and over again with Imperishable and stuff too, just is kind of
Are they playing Levitain and stuff like that?
Levitine and Deep Blue, so you can, if you have the nut draw, which is possible, you can flip turn 2 with Xion.
I'm completely sorry, guys, if you
Oh.
can hear that in the background real quick. Somebody tripped an alarm.
You have a Deep Blue on field, and then turn 2, if you have 2 Deep Blues, sack them.
Oh, because
Yeah.
it's 3 mana to flip, and then just get
Yeah.
Celestial Wing Seraph.
If you're lucky enough.
Bam!
It is very, very unlikely, but it can happen.
That's really gross if that actually happens.
With this little bit of noise in back here, I think we should just go ahead and call it a night, guys. Even though I really want to talk about you and the Kaguya deck that you're piloting, and that's a deck that I really want to go over quite a
Yeah.
bit. It's definitely a place where
There's
I want to
always
be.
next week.
But we have an alarm going off outside, and this mall has already had like a bomb threat today, and a million other things going on. So we're just gonna go ahead and call it a night, guys. Thank you all for watching. I was your host, Jay Phillips, joined as always by
Dunby.
And the guy who set off the alarm.
Patrick Collins, guys, ladies and gentlemen.
How'd you do it? Why'd you do it?
Have a good one, guys.
Night.